Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Kameel Majdali.
Let's cast our eyes around the world, once again to the Middle East. We've been talking about how the Middle East is so important in the processes by which God is working through world history. These days, Kameel, the Middle East is really complicated.
Neil, I've been watching the Middle East for a long time, and never has it been more complicated than it is now. Starting in 2011 with the advent of the Arab Spring, we have a whole different region to what we had before. It seems like before 2011, those were the good old days. Now we've got this whole region turned up on its side.
There are so many cultures and religions that are at work in the Middle East. It's difficult for us here in Australia to be able to make sense of who stands for what and who's against who.
You're right, Neil. And as much as we like to simplify things, that's not an easy call when it comes to the Middle East. You're dealing, and I will try to make it simple here, you're dealing with thousands of years of history, geography, competing cultures, but that's only the beginning. Then you mix into it the intervention of foreign powers because it is the land bridge, it sits in the middle, it invites intervention just by its location. And then if that's not all, you've got theology that's woven in. So you've got theology, foreign intervention, thousands of years of history, culture, and the like, and you've got one big pavlova there.
And it's heading towards a crescendo in the last times. Those sorts of things very apparent with a very simple, cursory understanding of Bible prophecy.
Well, that's right, Neil. And I think that if we're going to help our listeners to get a grasp of what's happening in the world today, and that's important because you can plan your future accordingly. It's pretty much like knowing what the weather is going to be like so you know how you're going to dress or not dress for the day. But for this whole issue of the Middle East, let's remember it is so central, it is mineral rich, it's laced with theology and prophecy. It's not really that hard to understand. It is a rich thing, it's a complex thing, but it's still not hard to understand. I just want to say, though, that the complications that are now set in because of these revolutions across the Arab world could very well help facilitate fulfillment of Bible prophecy, particularly passages like Psalm 83, Ezekiel 38 and 39, Zechariah 12 and 14. I'm not saying their fulfillment is imminent, but the uprisings in the Arab world could very well poise or position the players to bring that fulfillment to pass.
If you're interested in Bible prophecy and end times events, how important is it to get a grip on cultural understanding and political understanding as to what's happening between those different nations in the Middle East?
Any kind of understanding you can get about a strategic place, particularly if it has biblical and prophetic significance, is always welcome. It's like learning the Bible itself. The Bible is, in one sense, a long document, but in another sense, it's short because it doesn't always give all the background information. If it did, it'd be a much bigger book. If that applies to the Bible, learning the history and the geography and learning perhaps biblical languages or at least a little bit of working knowledge for greater understanding of the Bible as a whole, then yes, understanding culture and politics of the Middle East would also be helpful in understanding Bible prophecy. So my philosophy in all this is simple. The more background information you can get, the more the ancient inspired text will speak loud and clear. Provided it's reliable information, accurate information, then it's fine, whether it's archaeology, culture, or the like. So that's why we do trips to the Middle East, to help people in that understanding. But you can also get it through your own home and through programs such as this one.
Faith and the Future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Kameel Majdali from Teach All Nations. Find articles, videos and podcasts from Dr. Camille, plus today's and other episodes of Faith in the Future in the Vision app or at vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.